Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the land of Kakiak. It is Thursday night, and I am trying to do my planning for this upcoming week. I thought I would show you some new stuff that I haven't showed you before, that we haven't done before. So I am in my weekly lesson planner for my 6th grader right now. I've gone ahead and just filled everything out pretty much. Same thing. We're still just working our way through the Psalms. And I bought this book, which I found to be a helpful guide. It's a good jumping off point. Wonderful. We did the ology version of this before too. I liked it. And it's just taking you through the Psalms. And there's a little bit of a story weaved in it with this boy and his grandpa. And you can see when it doesn't give you the full psalm, right? It gives an excerpt, and then it gives some kind of commentary on it. But I like the pictures. I like the inspiration. When I come down here in the morning, right, I get coffee first things first, coffee. I pull out everything I need for Bible. So I take out this book. I have a King James version of this. I have the, what's it called? The Action Bible. It's it's the Bible, but it's in comic pictures, and the kids really like it a lot. And I pull out this, which I don't think I've showed this to you before. You might have seen it on my Instagram. It's the Compact Bible Dictionary. And this has been really, really helpful. The only thing I wish is that the pictures were in here were in color. There's probably better ones that you can get that do have color. I think I just nixed this from my mom's house at some point. I'm pretty sure I didn't buy it. My mom is like me and is a bit of a book collector. I must get it from her. I just don't ever feel guilty about getting more books. I just don't. It's my life's dream to have a home library. So another reason that homeschool is such a blessing, has been such a blessing to me in my life and my faith, is because, when I was like, okay, let's get real about this. Let's get serious. Are you going to raise your kids in the faith? Because if you are, let's do this, let's not just say, oh yeah, it's good, and be real vague. Let's actually get the tools that we need and study the Bible with the kids. And so that they're not just relying on, well, my mom and dad told me it was true, or, which I feel like was my faith growing up. I just had faith in my parents, really, because they're wonderful people. And, I trusted them, and they wouldn't lie to me. But then that's what my faith was built on. And that's why it was so easily shaken in my younger, my foolish years. Because I didn't have any real Bible knowledge. So that's something I want to give to my kids, is some real Bible knowledge. And it's blessing me too, to go through these things and make myself really slow down, And it's just been really good. Anyway, so I just recommend this one. It's been working well for us. I think they still, if I can find it online, I'll link it for you. But, I'm sure anything like this. But this one has had really good, it's had almost everything I've tried to look up. It's had really good explanations. So, yeah, I just want to share that Bible dictionaries, have them. Maybe you think that you're not going to be that intense or whatever. You need to know. I needed it. Anyway, it has been helpful to me. So I'll link that for you down below. All right. The other thing is, so I'm just going to put that down. Saxon. Everett's still working through Saxon. So I just got to jot Saxon down on every page or on every day. And then his reading, he started a new book. I don't think I've showed you this one yet. It's a G.A. Henty book. We just finished The Good and the Beautiful. We just completed year 1 this week. Yeah, actually yesterday. So he picked a book that was sometime in the last time frame we went through. And from Henty, he picked All But Lost. It's volume 1. There's actually 3 volumes of this, so we'll see if he wants to read the rest. But I just thought I would show it to you. But it's supposed to talk about, I think, Cambridge and life in Victorian era. I think there may be in London. I don't know. It talks about British life and stuff. I don't know. So he's working on that. So you can see his little chapter notes that he's taking as he goes. And I just updated. He's still working. He's going to be going into lesson 39 in his red hot root words. You know, we do our weekly packets with that as well. I'm just checking that he's actually doing it as I go through here. Yes, okay. He's actually been doing his assignments. So he just has to do tomorrow. This is tomorrow's assignment, and then on Sunday we have a vocab test. Okay. He is still in writing. He's still doing the how to write a story. I have been letting him, I've just been really being hands off on this and just letting him set a timer for 45 minutes and just to work in this workbook on his own. Because he seems to be, like, I think he's enjoying it. So I just wanted to build up his stamina for just like writing at all for any amount of time. When it gets to when he's writing, you know, like an actual story, I told him at this point to just give it to me to check, like just do like a rough draft, and then I'll give him some feedback on it. And look, see, he loves to illustrate. I like seeing their pictures. I always am very encouraging of drawing and like visualizing things. I think it's such a good place to get ideas. Okay, so yeah, I've been having him do that for 45 minutes, just set a timer, and then edit for, I say for 15 minutes. I mean, if he gets all the way through his editing bookmark, he can stop. But if, you know, if he doesn't make it all the way through all of the things he's editing in it, that's fine. He only has to do it for 15 minutes because I figure that's an hour. Okay, so, oh, and then spelling boot camp. So this is something I've been doing with both my 2nd and my 6th grader. And I'm experimenting around with it so I can tell you guys at the end what we liked and didn't like. So I just am putting spelling boot camp down, I've got his activities down. So what I haven't put in the planner yet is, so we just finished our history unit, so we're on to a new science unit. So we're going to go through this Ocean Anatomy book by Julia Rothman. She's an artist, and I have the whole series, and I do like them. Look at that, great. I like the way they're written. I feel like it's a good amount of information, if not too much. So I have that. So I got that. And somebody else did these activities that can go like a companion thing that goes along with it. It doesn't go for every single, there's not an activity for every single thing they cover, but like there's a good amount in there. And then I also got these companion notebooks. I'll link all these resources down below too. I know I've talked about them before, but I haven't used these ones yet, so I'm excited. And I just spent this week, so how I always use these notebooks because I'm using them with 2 ages. So my older son's 11, so he's like in 6th grade. Then I have a 7-year-old in the 2nd grade. And when you buy these, these are, just printables. I think you can buy hard versions, but I just got the digital file so I could print it. So it comes with the regular notebooking pages. Sorry, did some stuff in here. I'll tell you about it. That tells them, like ask specific questions and tells them what pages to read and like draw this here or whatever. But it also comes with it. It doesn't cost any extra. It comes with these Ocean notebook blank notebooking pages for all ages with chapter coloring pages too. And they look like this. It'll say, this is the chapter coloring page. For every new chapter, chapter 2, Plenty of Fish in the Sea was the name of the chapter. Then they have this to color. And so it gives like a topic, but the kids could draw whatever they want, list anything you want. And so this is what I always use with my younger son. He just can't do quite as, obviously as much as a 6th grader can do. He can't write as fast. He can't look things up as fast. But I want them to, I only have one book, right? So I use one of my book stands and I put it, that I usually have they both have their own book stands, but I grab one and I put it in the middle of them. And, I just open it up to the pages. And then whatever page my older son, it's in his book, will have the pages, say, oh, be on read page 17, right? So we'll do the reading, whatever. So when he has that opened up so he can see it to use it to fill in his information in his notebook, I'll just have my younger son find whatever the corresponding, we'll find him the corresponding pages. The world ocean, why is the ocean salty? The speed of, so that was the speed of sound. So there's, you know, a blank notebooking page in this one that corresponds with this one. So we'll just kind of get them on the same page and have them work together for a certain amount of time. So that's how I use those. So the other things, I'll just show you all the things I got. So that's like the main parts, right? These two books and the notebooks. I did get the Ocean Anatomy sticker book to go along because there's so much drawing. They asked them to do so much drawing of all these different animals and things. It's funny, this one's like in there upside down. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and buy those stickers because their little hands actually would get like tired from drawing so many things. So I was like, I think I might just let them use some of the stickers in some of the instances and save their little hands and then draw some of the other ones, you know. And then I bought this DK book, Ocean, the Definitive Visual Guide. So I just bought this on Amazon used, and it came in good condition. It's huge. I love these like coffee tables kind of reference books. But it'll have even more information, and it has real pictures in it. And so when we're looking up a topic, I'll just check the index and see where in here it is talking about whatever we're talking about. And I know they definitely talk about kelp forests in the book. So I was definitely looking at the bioluminescence. I think I marked it. Oh yeah, they definitely talk about icebergs and sea ice. Yeah, isn't that cool? I love the bioluminescence page. So I know we'll definitely look at that. So yeah, I like to have something like this open while they're working on stuff or while we're reading it so they can look at it maybe while I'm reading to them, because the Julia Rothman books, I mean, I love the illustrations, but it's nice if they can see the real animal too, right? Yeah, like I want them to be able to see a real picture along with the drawings. The other thing I purchased, and you don't have, if you want to do this as a unit study, you don't have to buy these things. I mean, I just want, like I said, it's like my dream to have a home library. And whenever we are working on a unit, like a history unit, I have one of my big history books out like this, just sitting out. And then like this time I kind of just moved it, and in its place I'm going to put this so that the kids, while we're doing this unit, you know, they can just pick it up, flip it open, and look through it whenever they want to. The other idea I had, and I got this idea from actually The Good and the Beautiful, because we love their history program. I don't know what they're doing with it, because they said they're just continuing it. I don't know if they're going to make new ones or what, but I just we loved it the way it was. So we just bought all the old ones, all the old books, because I was afraid they were going to change it and I wasn't going to like it. But one of the things the kids love is the books, like that they paired with the kind of like the textbook and like the stories, right? Those like living books. And so I wanted to do something like that with science. So I bought a couple books. The Coral Island by R.M. Ballantyne. So this is one that I think I may not read it this time. I think if it was just my oldest, I would read it. But because I'm doing it, you know, science with my youngest or my middle son as well, I think I'm going to read this one, the Burgess Seashore Book for Children. And I'll be reading that along with our studies. And then I got this one, the Berenstain Bears Under the Sea, for my preschooler. Because we're going to be doing all this stuff. He's going to want his own little Under the Sea book too, right? And I'll probably get him like a little, I'll probably just give him a notebook or something so he can draw too. Like when his brothers are doing that, so he can be like involved. The other thing I bought was this oceanology book. It just looks so fun. Like you're supposed to be like in the Nautilus. Like it looks like Atlantis under there or something. And it has all these really fun little features to it. You're like kind of in your own little adventure story in here. And like, look, you find write a letter in there. And I got this used and it came in like almost perfect condition. And so like, yeah, there's all these notes. It really sucks you into the story. And like, it's this, it's like a journal that you supposedly found of these adventurers, going to study, the ocean and sea life and stuff. Like, here's the Nautilus. So the boys are gonna love this type of stuff, right? Like looking at all these rooms. Oh, here have another excuse to use my magnifying glass paperweight. I love this thing. Oh, it's hard to see because the light is weird right now. So yeah, they have a library in their little Nautilus submarine. Anyways, so I got this too to read. Look, and then maps. Isn't that cool? And it does talk a lot about ocean life. There's the albatross. It's talking about... Anyways, I thought this was a super cool book, and I was like, the kids are going to love this, right? They're going to be really interested in it. Okay, so how am I going to put this all together, right? It seems like a lot. It's like, yeah, how am I going to put all of this stuff into my planner? Well, I'll tell you. I can actually put everything away because I did all my planning this week. Oh, and I went through and made like a super long list of videos that would go along with certain pages in here, like off YouTube, just like little educational videos and stuff. And I'll explain why. So I printed out the notebook, I comb bound it, and then I went through. Oh, and they have their own extra printables you could go to, like links in this. And they also did, just as a note to parents, says there are a few references in ocean anatomy that refer to evolution, climate change, and other environmental issues, and sex/reproduction. Because of conflicting worldviews and the age range of the students using this notebook, we have not included questions about any of these topics and have included a list of pages you may want to review before sharing with your students. So these are the pages that mention evolution, climate change stuff, sexual and asexual reproduction. So I thought that was nice that they did that let the parents have a heads up about that stuff and not force it into the curriculum. Yeah, so this is the same website that puts us out. They have all these other things that you can, it's like the sea and ocean life cycles, cut and paste. Like that would be nice to have, but you could use it in here. So what I did though, I just took my highlighters and just because I've used these before, and sometimes they can be really time consuming. So what I did though is I just went by color so that my oldest son, when he opens this up, he knows, this is one day, right? And I just made some notes. This is Monday. We're gonna start on Monday, week 1, day 1. Read page 12 through 13, right, of ocean anatomy. So I just made my notes in here for him, which I'm going off of what this says in here, but I just wrote it here. So he'll read those and then fill out this part, what it tells him to do. And then in the activity book, I married everything up in here with this activity book. Do pages 1 through 5. All right, it's the first activity about ocean zones. I made myself a little list of all of the science activity stuff that I probably need to get. I already got the food dye. But there's probably some other little things that I can pick up just with my weekly grocery runs. So I just made myself a list. So yeah, so I made that there. And then we're going to read chapter 1. I think I might have us actually, and then I'm thinking about it, do the reading from the Burgess book first. Just to get them kind of settled in. We'll read chapter 1. And the chapters in this are really short. So Danny Meadow Mouse goes to the seashore. It is only that long. It's only 5 pages, right? And I think they're all pretty much like that. They're very short. So I was like, oh, that's very doable. So I think I'll just, read a chapter, then have the kids do their reading in here and their notebooking. And then if I want to. I don't, just for me, the reason I made a whole all these video lists is that sometimes I just don't have it in me to do an activity. and I wanted something else to have them do. Like watch a little video or something, to feel like they rounded out their day and they got something fun. Like they really like watching videos about these kind of science topics. So I picked videos that weren't not super long and that were more geared towards kids or, on the educational side. Okay, so that's optional, right? The video is optional, but I put that all together and I put it in my TPT store as a document for free in case you want a cheat sheet. If you're looking for a shortcut, you don't have to search for videos. You can just open up that document and click on a video, and I'll link it for you. And okay, so the first day I did real short. The second day I did these 2 pages. Most of the time, and that one. Most of the time, I want them just to be able to open it up and do 2 pages, and that's it. I don't want them to do more. It just takes too long. So sometimes that meant something was kind of like a subject was kind of getting cut off. See, I'd have to pick up on currents the next day. So I was trying to stay with the same subjects for a while, and I was like, ugh, this is going to be annoying. So I went to just doing 2 pages or one, right? But I don't want them really doing more than 2. It's just going to be too much, I think. Yeah, so I just went through and color coded this so that my son would know what I expected him to do. Then once we're done reading the Burgess Seashore book, I'm switching over to looking at this one instead. And so I didn't put how many chapters or whatever. I was like, we'll just look at it for a while and until we get through, this. So I have my plan is to do this 4 days a week, but just not do I'd rather have 4 shorter days, you know what I mean? And not every day has an activity either. So I'm estimating week 14, day 3. So 13 weeks and 13, 14 weeks to get through this. And you never can say how long it's going to take to do something because something will always come up, right? But that's just kind of my estimate. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. That was my whole long explanation. This is what I'm going to use, my own notes, to do my planning on my science column. So that's what I'm going to do now. That's it. That's all I had to do to plan. So my favorite part is I got new highlighters and I'm really excited to try them. Give myself a little box to check. Everett's week is planned. Let's check on Will's. So for math, I thought I would show you something I haven't showed you before. Okay, so this is a resource. I'll try to find it, link it for you, that a lady makes, and really similar to Ray's arithmetic. This workbook was created by Cynthia Albright. Copies may be made for use in your own homeschool. This is a math book published in the 1880s and is authored by Edward Olney. She says, after looking at a lot of public domain math books, I like the setup of this one. So I think she, kind of remade an older one, made it available for us all to use. There's one in there for addition and subtraction, and this is the multiplication and division one. And she has little exercises and it has cute little artwork in there, and this was free to print out. yeah, so I liked it. I'm still having, William is still working on his math facts. So, and especially his multiplication ones. So we've gone through some of the Ray's arithmetic, already. And some of them we still have. But like I've said before, like he's done some of these. It's like, and we've done the ones that I created, and I'm just having him go through something else, something like to kind of work it in a different way. And then I'll probably have him go back through mine again. But this is a lot of, like if you were wanting, I've talked about number sense before, like this is really showing them like out long, like what 3 times 10 is. It's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, they're showing it. And then they have these little word problems. And I'll read you one because these word problems are a little bit easier than the Ray's arithmetic ones of a similar level. So they say like, how many legs have 4 lambs? How many times as many legs as 1 lamb? How many are 4 times 4? So it kind of leads them through, but then it tells them at the end the problem is 4 times 4. You know what I mean? So that kind of makes it, I think, if they don't totally get some of this, at least they get told at the end, basically. Then it started getting a little bit harder. Like this one says, 6 stars have how many times as many points as 1 star? 7 stars have how many times as many points as 1 star? 8 stars have how many times as many points as 1 star? Like I had to like talk him through that one. Anyway, so I do think this is kind of like fun to, at least it's a way to kind of check where their reading comprehension is. Yeah, like I let him write his 6s. We wrote them down the side so he could refer to them and find the answer if he needed to. And I'm trying to get him in the habit of writing the unit down. So I thought this was cool. And it was free to print out and very similar to Ray's if you didn't want to, if you didn't want to have to purchase, these workbooks. These ones are nice because they have, the space in them to work the problem, there. And so yeah, so like I think we'll just go ahead and do this multiplication, and we'll add it into the rotation of worksheets that I use. Yeah. Anyways, I'll link it for you. Okay. So for math, William does a math. Okay, a workbook page. He does his flashcards, and he does a game with me. For reading, let me see. What are we doing? We're doing McGuffey Revised, McGuffey Original, back and forth. And then I want him to give me a summary of what he read. Beginning, middle, end. On this one, I'm going to ask him, what's it about? I just do a comp check. Question off my bookmarks I use. And then on Sundays, I like to let him ask me, the student teacher. Okay, so whenever he does a revise, he's up to 1 page of copy work now, 1 page. And then he does his edit using his bookmark. And then he's also doing the spelling boot camp. And then when he does the original, he's doing his how to write a story. He's got to edit his own page. Then spelling boot camp. And I'm checking these when he's done. He's still young enough that I'm checking. It only takes a few minutes. Okay. Now, let's use a different color. Okay, my plans are laid. I don't have to do anything for Bo because we're still on the He's gonna switch over a middle of the week. Yeah, so I'll have to make a new monthly plan for Bo. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow while the kids are working. Okay, well, hard part's over. Okay, talk to you guys soon.